passes. Jackson fumbles the ball. The Giants recover for a touchdown. Touchdown,
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you could maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants had a couple articles that I saw, got my attention today. Of course, the first one, it's kind of like, hey, business as usual. New York Giants, guy on the PUP list. Absolutely freaking amazing. I mean, guys, yeah. Basically, he can't pass a physical or anything. So, I mean, I don't know what the hell, you know, they're not going to tell you. Maybe you might know, it might leak out somewhere along the line down the road, but you don't know right now exactly what happened to him. But I mean, somehow, you know, we just doing drills or something or whatever, did something that was quad. I mean, last year was the year of the hamstring. So at least I mean, as of right now, you don't have anybody popping any hamstrings. Because last year was the absolute 100% total joke with the hamstrings. It was absolutely unbelievable. So as of right now, I don't think we have anybody with the hamstring. But so apparently Daniel Bellinger did something with the quad. So exactly what it is, who knows? Exactly what the extent of the injury is, who knows? I mean, basically all it is like he's on the PUP list. Once he can pass the physical, he can go back on there. Now, if it lingers into what would you say, the regular season, okay, he would have to wind up, if he winds up on a PUP list, he'll wind up having to miss 4 weeks. So hopefully it doesn't linger to that. But I mean, as of right now, just on in training camp and during everything, he counts toward the 90. All right, but once he can pass the physical, he's good to go. Now, you know, be interesting to see once he passes his physical and he's good to go and everything. You know, what do the Giants wind up doing with him? You know, do they kind of baby him along or exactly what? But so I mean, I was just shaking my. I saw that. I got the ESPN app and I get updates, and then I got the NFL app, and I saw it on the NFL app. Something popped up, and I was reading it. Because in the NFL app, you get to type in what your favorite team is, and obviously I put the Giants. So anytime something pops up with the Giants, the NFL app pops in, and you get a notification. So I was reading that, I'm like, unbelievable. I mean, if it was Jordan Akins or Chris Myrick or something, okay, but of course it's our fourth round pick, who's projected to be the starter. High hopes for him and all that and everything. But same old with the New York Giants. And then I saw the what was it? The Kyler Murray. All right, he had the his what was it? 230. 5 years, 230 million, a little over 230 million, because it has to be. I guess they weren't going to give him the number one, right? But he had to be higher than like Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's exactly 46, so for some reason they have to make him a little bit more than $46 million so he can be the number 2 highest paid quarterback. So I guess I don't know. He hasn't won a playoff game. He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in a playoff game. The one playoff game he went to, they got totally annihilated. He looked like a total freaking joke. He couldn't do anything at all. And that's worth, I guess, $46 million, I guess. I don't know. But that's the way it is in the NFL. But what does that mean for the New York Giants / Daniel Jones going forward? I mean, because Daniel Jones, the Giants got some salary cap money to spend next year. And if they make a few moves here or there, maybe cut Kenny Golladay, maybe let Adoree Jackson go, let Leonard Williams go, they'll save themselves a boatload more money, and I'll show you exactly how much that is. But I'm saying that kind of like as of right now, they have over 40 million, I believe it is. We'll check in a moment here. In salary cap money. But I mean, say Daniel Jones balls out, say for some, if by some chance he goes like say 30, throws 35 touchdown passes and has like 11 interceptions or something like that. What's that going to get? I mean, because obviously now it might be the system. It might be with Dable and Kafka, and look what Daniel Jones can do, and the right, we got the good offensive line, right, and the proper system, the good play call, and this, that, and look what Daniel Jones can do. So if we got the right, the same play call, and right, we got Daniel Jones and the offensive line protecting him and all that and everything. They might, look what Daniel Jones can do going forward. And he might only get maybe better and better as time goes by. So, they can't pick up the fifth-year option. That went by. They declined it. So the Giants would have to sign him. I mean, they could franchise tag him. That they could do, okay? But, sooner or later they would have to wind up paying him. Unless they think this year would be a fluke, they could try to franchise tag him. They could franchise tag him a couple times. But, I mean, sooner or later, if he keeps balling out, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, now would it? They're going to have to pay him. I mean, what's that going to cost? I mean, if Kyler Murray, who I think is definitely a little bit better quarterback than Daniel Jones, on a couple, he doesn't turn the ball over as much, right? But yeah, so I certainly think if Kyler Murray was to get 46, Daniel Jones isn't worth 46. But just say even 35. Right, just say $35 million. The Giants only have like a little over 40. Right, so I mean now the Giants going to, paying the quarterback, and they'll have like a little over $10 million left on the salary cap. So going into next season, they were supposed to actually have some salary cap money to spend. And now if Daniel Jones balls out, as I said once again, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, right? They pretty much come down to nothing. So just to pay Daniel Jones, I mean, they won't be able to add anything, right? Unless they wind up letting go. I mean, they can let go. We'll show you the numbers once again with that. Let go. I mean, Leonard Williams will save some money. Kenny Golladay, they can save about $7 million, I think it is. They let Adoree Jackson go, the number one cornerback go. They would save themselves some money. So they would have to do that if they would want some salary cap money, more to spend. Right, if they had to pay Daniel Jones. But I mean, just goes to show you, I mean, you don't have to be an MVP. You don't have to win a Super Bowl. You don't even have to win a playoff. You don't even have to throw a touchdown pass in a playoff game, and they'll give you $46 million. So if Daniel Jones has a decent season, he might get himself a nice payday next year. All right, the New York Giants. Let's see here. We got from Giants Wire. I mean, actually, there's like 300 articles out there with about Daniel Bellinger going on the PUP list. This is just the first one I came across. This is one I picked up. But I mean, New York Times, New York Post, SB Nation, this, that. I mean, if you're covering the Giants, you got an article on this here. You got Giants placed in Daniel Bellinger. I keep saying Daniel Jones on the PUP list, physically unable to perform list. Man. New York Giants rookies reported for training camp this past Tuesday, and already the team is now one short. Shocking, I know. It's hard to believe, especially because we're talking to the New York Giants about an injury. Hard to believe. Rookie tight end Daniel Bellinger, who was taken in the fourth round of the 2022 draft, has been placed on the physically unable to perform, or PUP list, with a quad injury. So at least I guess it's not a hamstring. I was getting ready to just I was going freaking bananas last year with all the hamstring injuries we had. I mean, of course, we haven't really started. It's just nothing crazy with the mini camps and all that. But I mean, so next week starts the training camp where they're going to start going full speed and all that and everything. So let's keep our fingers crossed with that. But I was just absolute total freaking nightmare last year with all these hamstring injuries. Absolutely unbelievable. Bellinger had been working out with quarterback Daniel Jones and several others new teammates prior to reporting to camp. However, it's unclear exactly when this injury occurred or how much time the rookie is expected to miss. Yes, I mean, a lot of it's on the hush-hush. I mean, unless somehow it leaks out, exactly what happened now. Did it happen while, he was with Daniel Jones and and some of the teammates maybe throwing patterns or something. Don't know. The Giants can activate Bellinger from the PUP list at any point between now and the start of the regular season, which is cool. He just has to pass a physical. He counts toward the 90. Okay, and I guess that's how it goes. Once they have to start cutting down, like they go from 90, they go down to 70 something, say 75, whatever the first cut down is, whatever it is. He'll count toward that number, right? But they can activate him at any time. He just has to pass the physical, and then he's good to go. And they can decide what they want to do. If they want to baby him for a while, or exactly what. But all right. If he remains on PUP once week 1 rolls around, Bellinger will be forced to sit out a minimum of 4 weeks. So Bellinger had an impressive spring, displaying good hands and an ability to block at a high level, which is very important. He was projected to start over Ricky Seals-Jones, who now has a golden eye. Him and Jordan Akins. I mean, they both have, very, very good opportunities in front of them. As I said, especially, you don't know how long Bellinger's going to be out for. Hopefully it's not where it winds up like Bellinger's out for an extended period of time where Ricky Seals-Jones is our first tight end and Jordan Akins is our second tight end, but who knows? But now they both have a very good opportunity, especially because if Daniel Bellinger is not in there taking first team reps, somebody else will be, right? So that's a perfect opportunity. I mean, even so much, maybe so much they steal the starting job once Bellinger comes back, but I mean, just to show what you can do. And then when Bellinger does come back, if Seals-Jones or Akins has a very good training camp so far, right? Maybe they'll be the number 2 tight end. But I mean, so it's it's a very good opportunity for both those guys, right? Or I actually want to go that way. The rest of the tight end, Tris Myrick too, right? But this is just unbelievable. I keep saying on all my videos, I said, like around now, this time of year, once like the mini camp or whatever is over with, they had like a month or so off, right? Really, you want like no news because the Giants don't really have any money to sign anybody, so they're probably not bringing in any big names or anything like that. The only news you're going to wind up hearing, all right, would be pretty much bad news. So if you're, it's kind of like something like this. If you hear something, it's probably bad, and something like somebody got hurt, and here you go. So hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it's just be out maybe a week, couple weeks, or whatever. You just keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. But it's just absolutely amazing. Guy gets hurt. Oh my goodness! That's supposed to be a young, hopefully stud tight end of the future. Hopefully, but oh boy, here we go again. All right, so I saw Kyler Murray. All right, there you got it here. Hey, man, if they're going to pay you, I'm not saying you don't take the money, but Kyler Murray signed a 5-year, $500,000 contract. Had to throw the 500. Gotta have that in there because now he's be the number 2. I can't make as much as Deshaun Watson. I got to make more than him. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely unbelievable. So his contract with the Arizona Cardinals, including a $29 million, 35. Let's make it 29. Not 25 million. Let's make it $29 million and $35,000 signing bonus. Where did he come up with these numbers? $160 million is totally guaranteed, and an average salary of 46 has to have the 100,000 in there. I'll show you that why in a minute. $46 million. Murray will earn a base salary of $965,000 and a signing bonus of $29 million, while carrying a cap hit of $6,772,000 this year. All right, so he's a happy camper. So now he's all smiles now because he got paid, and let's just hope he maybe goes out and actually earns some money. It would be nice, wouldn't it? But let's see. So we'll show you here why you got to have that $500,000, thrown in there because that puts him ahead of Deshaun Watson. I still don't even know why he's even ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Last time I checked, Matt Stafford just won a Super Bowl, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. So why are we ahead of him? Why are we ahead of a Hall of Famer Russell Wilson? Why are we getting paid more than him? Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl. The one Super Bowl, the last one the Seahawks were in, if they actually gave the ball instead of throwing the ball, handing the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, he would have ran the ball in. They would have won that Super Bowl. So he would have been a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He's a Hall of Famer. So yeah, let's give him more money than a Hall of Famer. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But so they had to throw the extra $500,000 in there because he makes exactly $46 million. So we can't make the same as Deshaun. I have to make more money than him. I mean, so that's why Kyler Murray's making $46,100,000. It's like absolutely simply amazing. But so Aaron Rodgers is still the number one guy. He's at $50 million a year, and he certainly deserves it. But I mean, it's like we got Tom Brady down here making $25 million a year, and they're gonna pay Kyler Murray twice as much as they're paying Tom Brady. Absolutely unbelievable. But see, there's also kind of like a theme here, right? See, also like with Aaron Rodgers, right? You see that? See Tom Brady down here? You know why he keeps winning Super Bowls and all? I mean, he's phenomenal. All that stuff. But you see this number right here? See what this number does? This annual. You know what it helps you do? It helps you bring in other ball players. See, when it's all about you, okay? When it's all about Aaron Rodgers, right? That's when some of your other ball players either go elsewhere because they can't get paid, or your ball club can't bring in other players to help you win Super Bowls. See, when it's all about you guys, right? That's when you have a hard time winning Super Bowls, okay? Because now you're depleting your team of good quality talent that you can't afford to pay because it's all about you, okay? So some of these guys seem to forget that, okay? But, I mean, we have Tom Brady here. Nope. The greatest quarterback of all time. What is he up to? What has he got? 6, 7 Super Bowl wins, right? I'll just take $25 million. I'm good. All right. I'm good. All right. Because he knows he can make other money elsewhere, right? But he can also bring in other ball players, right, who can help him win football games, which help maybe possibly go back to the Super Bowl, right? See, Tom Brady knows that. These guys don't. These guys is all about Aaron Rodgers. It's all, it's good for them. Hey, they're going to pay you $50 million a year. Hey, good. But, that's one thing that a lot of these guys are kind of forgetting about. All right, you're depleting your ball club of good quality talent because you can't afford to pay them. So that's why. So now Kyler Murray is the second highest paid quarterback. He's gone to one playoff game. I'll show you that. I mean, there's 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter before they even scored a touchdown. Right? He didn't throw a touchdown pass. Had 2 interceptions. Had like 122 yards of offense, and he wants $46 million. Okay, all right, yeah. All right. So now what we got here, all right, we got the Giants. This is for this is 2023. Okay. Now this just goes to show you, all right, what they got. Right. They got about $48 million in cap space. Okay. So I'm just saying, just suppose Daniel Jones balls out, has a really good year. And I'm not saying the Giants are going to pay him $46 million. Yeah. Let's just go crazy. Just say $35 million, okay? Because compared to what he kind of did the past couple of seasons, it's really kind of hard. I mean, Kyler Murray has had some good seasons, okay? Nothing super duper unbelievably phenomenal seasons, but he's had some good solid seasons without question, okay? So if they're going to pay him $46 million, that's the bar for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to get paid less than that. I mean, without doubt. I mean, unless Daniel Jones somehow throws like 40 touchdown passes this year, like 10 interceptions or whatever. But if he goes for like 30 touchdown passes and keeps the interceptions down, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, whatever, some kind of a ratio like that, I can see him, maybe the Giants, if they don't keep franchise tagging him, right? If they're going to wind up actually paying him, a nice salary, okay, and just go out, just sign him a big long contract and everything, I can see maybe $35 million a year. Let's see. Okay, well, right here, okay, that's as of right now. Spot Track has Daniel Jones's market value at $20 million, but that is with the past 3 seasons. All right, that number is going to go up big time. Okay, if he has a good year this year, because if the Giants finally got the offensive line to help protect them, if they got the good offensive minds, Kafka and Dable coming in, calling the right plays, drawing up the right plays, right? And getting Daniel Jones in the spots to succeed, right? I mean, that number is going to go up to $35 million, right? So if the Giants, say I have to pay him $35 million, right? Now they only got $13 million next year. And then obviously out of the $13 million, they got to spend, I don't know, what would you say? Depends upon where they finish up at obviously, but their draft class, I mean, that could run them $7-8 million, $9 million, $6, $7, $8 million, right? So, I mean, if you have to pay Daniel Jones 35 and you have to pay your draft class, say 7, right? That's $42 million. Now that leaves you $6 million just to go for the next season. I mean, so you really can't bring anybody in. So all you're doing basically is you just be signing your draft class and you'd be signing Daniel Jones. Can't sign Saquon Barkley or anything like that, right? So there's good points and bad points of Daniel Jones balling out this season, right? The one thing they could do, all right, which I did mention, was they let Leonard Williams go, right? Dead cap hit would be $8 million next year. His salary cap is 26, so they let him go. They could save $18 million. Not bad. All right, then you got Kenny Golladay. All right, here they'd save about $7 million. That's a tough 14-7 dead cap hit. That's a tough one, okay? But they still save 7. All right, so if you got 18 here and 7 there, that's $25 million. All right. Then if you're going to somehow let Adoree Jackson go, I mean, now you're going to let your number 1 cornerback go. Now you're going to have to replace him, especially in the Wink Martindale system. Even if Aaron Robinson has a real good year, you got to find somebody, whether in the draft somebody really high, cornerback, or you got to go out the free agent market and sign somebody, whatever you got to do. But if you let Adoree Jackson go, that's almost about another $9 million, right? About like $9 million. Okay, so you got 9, you got 7, that's 16, and you got 18, so you got $34 million. Okay, so there's $34 million, right? If you let these 3 guys go. But of course, now you're letting your best defensive lineman go, a good, solid wide receiver, okay, and your best cornerback go. So you're letting those 3 guys go so you can save $34 million. So you got to kind of weigh that out. But that would be one way if they let those 3 guys go, that they could save $34 million. Then they have some money. They could bring in a few guys. You can have one guy, a nice guy making whatever, $10-15 million a year. Then you can bring in a few other smaller guys. So it is what it is. But I'm just going to try to show you that if Daniel Jones does ball out, they got $48 million according to Spot Track. They're all different. If you go to over the cap will have the Giants having like $51 million or something. They all seem to be like a little bit off. But according to Spot Track, the Giants have 48. So if Daniel Jones balls out and they got to pay him $30 to $35 million, they're going to be down about $13 million in salary cap for the next season. Okay. Now, if we look at Daniel Jones, right? I mean, Daniel Jones' first year, right? Obviously, he had 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Okay. His completion percentage keeps going up every year. He's up to 64. He's never really totally, because a lot of sometimes he's gotten hurt. Okay. He's never really totally had a phenomenal passing season. But then again, Kyler Murray hasn't thrown for 4,000 yards either. If we look at him, he's had some nice seasons, all right? He had the 20 and 12, but Daniel Jones is 24 and 12 his first season. He threw 20 touchdown passes. He played 16 games. All right, Daniel Jones played in 13 games, and he had 24 touchdown passes. Right, so that's what Pat Shermer calling plays. All right, so Daniel Jones had 4 more touchdown passes. Right, same amount of interceptions as Kyler Murray. Okay, and he played in less games. Okay, But now then we had the clapper, right? Jason Garrett, Joe Judge in here, right? That's when Daniel Jones, had his injuries, had, bad play, without question, right? But Kyler Murray had some nice seasons here. 26-12, 24-10. Okay. But you'll also notice his pass completion percentage has gone up too, right? 67, last season, 69. The one thing is with Kyler Murray is who he's been throwing the ball to. Okay. The first year he was there, I believe he had, let's see. I know he had Larry Fitzgerald there. There was DeAndre Hopkins there as well too. Because I think he's always had at least one Hall of Fame wide receiver he's been thrown to. Okay. Hey, Michael Crabtree, Larry Fitzgerald. Okay, Hopkins wasn't there. Right? Okay. No Hopkins. Okay, this is his rookie season. Maybe this is his worst season now. But he had it still. Once again, he had a Hall of Fame wide receiver he's throwing to. All right. The next season, he got better. All right. Next season. 2020. Kyler Murray got better. He threw more touchdowns. Right. 60. Put all the games. 67% completed. 26-12. Right. So he got even better. Right. But you'll notice here, once again, Larry Fitzgerald, Hall of Fame wide receiver. And then they got DeAndre Hopkins, who should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if he's not, there's a problem. All right. Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver. I definitely think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Right. So, so he's always had at least a Hall of Fame wide receiver to throw the ball to. Here, he had this year, which is wound up being his best year, 26-12. He had 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers to throw to. This year, all right, this past season, he had DeAndre Hopkins. I'm calling him a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I mean, the guy is just unbelievable. What he can do. Absolutely unbelievable. And then they have A.J. Green. I'm not saying A.J. Green will be a Hall of Fame wide receiver, but I'll bet you he'll be a semifinalist, if not a finalist or something, somewhere along the line. And I said he may not get the jacket. May not. Right? But he's had a nice, really nice career. He'll be up for nomination somewhere along the line. After he retires to go in the Hall of Fame. So he's had him, right, who is at the end of his career. Okay, I got to give him that. But then they bring in Zach Ertz, who's toward the end of his career. Very good tight end. Very, very good tight end. Had some very good years with the Eagles. Then they had DeAndre Hopkins, another Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So he's had some really good guys to throw the ball to, okay? Kind of wondering how he would do behind the Giants offensive line, behind the Giants play calling, and throwing to the Giants wide receivers, especially because the Giants wide receivers get hurt all the time. I wonder how he would do then. All right. But I mean, all things aside, all right, I said, his numbers are better, without question, over Daniel Jones. All right. Especially the past season was 24-10. All right, 69% completion percentage. It was his first winning season. He was 5-10. Then went to 8-8. Okay. Then this season they were 9-5. Remember they shot out? They were unbelievable this year, and then they started coming back down to earth, and then they barely made the playoffs. And then speaking of playoffs, let's see what the $46 million guy did in the playoffs. Okay. Now in the playoffs, DeAndre Hopkins was not there. All right. So we had to throw the ball to. He had to throw the ball to Zach Ertz. Okay, and A.J. Green. All right, A.J. Green, let's see here. No receptions. Zach Ertz had 3 receptions. All right. Christian Kirk, Eno Benjamin, Rondell Moore, Zach Ertz, Darrell Daniels, Antonio Wesley, right? So no huge, unbelievably phenomenal talent there, okay? And what's he wind up doing? 19 out of 137 yards. He got sacked twice for 15, so he had 122 yards passing, right? No touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, right? They didn't score until it was 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. He didn't even throw, as I said, they didn't even throw a touchdown pass. Who we got? James Conner had to run a 2-yard rush, and that's the only touchdown they scored all game. They were down 28-0. This is your $46 million quarterback. And I'm not saying, hey, we're going to win the game no matter what because I'm getting paid $46 million. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I certainly expect, if you want $46 million, okay, and it's in the playoffs, if you got a guy hurt or this or that, guess what you're going to do? You're going to will your team. All right, you're gonna will some points. You're getting some points just out of sure will, sure drive, right? Didn't see that. He looked really, really confused. He looked really bad. He did not look like a $46 million quarterback. See, things aren't always going to go your way. But when you want $46 million, okay, when things aren't going your way, you got to turn them around so they are going your way. And he didn't do that. I was not impressed at all. But this is the NFL we live in, right? So I'm just saying, so if Kyler Murray, who's obviously stats are certainly superior to Daniel Jones, is getting $46 million a year, all right? If Daniel Jones balls out, all right, and has, say has 30 touchdown passes and say 10 interceptions. If Kyler Murray's getting $46 million, what do you think Daniel Jones is going to want? I mean, I'm just throwing a number out there, right? Maybe 35, somewhere around there. So Daniel Jones gets $35 million next year. Yeah, Giants salary cap is going away. Yeah, the money they're going to have to spend is coming way down. So they're going to have a hard time once again bringing other ball players in because why? Because you're paying your quarterback top-notch money. So you see, I mean, we're still just like toward the end. Yeah, but they're heading into the final, last 10 days or so of July. We got quite a while to the season. We have almost, not quite two months to the season. So we got a while. Okay. Hopefully, whatever it is with Daniel Bellinger is not, because, I mean, they had no contact drills or anything like that. So hopefully, whatever it was, it's maybe a little strain or something like that. Hopefully, it's nothing that bad, but you never know. And at least, and also, as for the time being, all he has to do, he can be with the team and this and all and everything. But as soon as he can pass a physical, he can just come back and start training and practicing and all. So, and we're as I said, we're quite a ways away from the start of the regular season. So hopefully it's nothing that horrible. But with no media access or anything like that, Brian Dable's not supposed to talk to the media till next week. I'm not sure if it's after the first practice, they had a padded practice, which is next Wednesday, or it might be next Thursday or not. That I'm not sure, but what I do know was that he's not supposed to talk until like next week. So unless something leaks out, you're not going to find out anything about Daniel Bellinger for a week anyway. And as far as with Daniel Jones, I mean, as I said, there's the good and the bad. I mean, quite possibly, some guys, as you've seen throughout history, right? Some guys are stuck in one place, maybe the bad coaching, this, that, they go someplace else or they get a new coach or whatever, and it's like a breath of fresh air, right? So now if we got Thomas, we got Neal, right? We got Glowinski, maybe Feliciano who does a decent job at center, maybe Lemieux or Azudu or whatever takes over the guard. We got a nice wall there. Maybe Saquon stays healthy with Kafka and Dable calling plays or coming up with the offensive system and all that. Maybe and asking Daniel Jones what do you like to throw? What kind of plays you like to run? What routes do you like to throw? Right. Finding that information out from him. Maybe Daniel Jones thrives. I'm not saying he's going to throw 40 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. But just what happens? Just say he goes 30-12. Just throwing a number out there, right? Or 30-10. Right? He's not signed for next year. Right? So the Giants could franchise tag him. They could franchise tag him again. But sooner or later, you just can't keep franchise tagging. If he's the guy, right? You're going to have to pay him. You're going to have to come up with a nice payday for him. So if Kyler Murray, who I think is a little bit better in certain aspects of being a quarterback, okay, than Daniel Jones is, okay, if he's going to get 46, which I don't agree with, but good for Kyler Murray, right? If you're going to pay you, pay you. But to become the second highest paid quarterback, and you haven't won a playoff game, you're not an MVP, you haven't won a Super Bowl, you haven't won, I mean, you haven't thrown a touchdown pass, but I think that's an absolute total 100% joke. But, I mean, if Kyler Murray's going to get 46, and Daniel Jones has a good year this year, I mean, what's he going to get, what, 35? Just saying, right? And if he gets 35, maybe even more, 35, 36, 37, who knows, right? There goes most of the Giants' salary cap money for next year. So they're not to start letting some guys go just so they'll have some money to spend, right? Just so, you know, they can bring some guys in. But that's the big problem, right? That's why you want to try to do as best you can on a quarterback's rookie salary when they're affordable. Because if once they get past their rookie salary and they go out and they go out and start getting 40, 45 million or whatever it is a year, right? There's that many less guys that you can afford to sign, and therefore it makes it even tougher to win a Super Bowl. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, you know, as far as with Daniel Jones, what his worth is going to be, you know, we'll find out as the season goes along, whether the Giants are going to wind up keeping him or whether they're going to let him go. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!